pain can only take you so far. After that, you gotta take a few leaps of fun. That's my quote that I live by. You can use pain as much as you want, my friend. Like, pain is a huge motivator. I feel like, especially for men, you can use pain to get the things that you want. You can use pain as fuel. You can say, okay, this person that wronged me when I was like 5 years old, so I'm gonna use that as motivation to get the thing that I want. Very good. I like that very much. I use that as well sometimes. It's a very, you can say, good characteristic trait because it shows that you're really motivated and you don't really want to prove them wrong, but you use that to pursue the things that you're after. I'm a very huge fan of that, so I think there's nothing wrong with that. But that can only take you so far, my friend. After that, you gotta make it fun. We always like to sit here. I think this industry, when we're talking about this industry, I'm talking about like immense self-improvement stuff and like self-development, is we like to come in front of a camera and say, you know what, guys, work 24/7, don't take a break, pain is all you have, work hard every single day. That in itself is a phenomenal message because I think I'm a young man as well. I'm 22 years old. I think every single man needs to work as hard as possible because, and the reason why I say that is because what else are you going to do? Like, a lot of people say, like, oh my God, you can just take a break. Yeah, take a break, but that is also productive because when you're taking a break, you come back stronger. If you're a young man, and when I'm young, I need to be specific about that because I think young from like the age of like 17, 16 to like 35, 40. If you're in your 20s even, like what I'm right now, I think that most of your time needs to be spent productively. Like 90% of your time needs to be spent productively because at the end of the day, I think you should focus on the input. Like, you should focus on producing as much as possible whilst you have the time and you have the energy, you have the health. Like, I've got a lot of time, I've got a lot of good health. Like, I've been going to the gym for like 4 to 5 times a week. You know, I've got a lot of energy. Like, I'm just in a very healthy state so I can actually record these type of videos, right? This in itself, like I said, is a phenomenal advice where you basically say, okay, young men need to work hard. Like, this has been always like that. I think young men always speak for myself. You need to work hard. Like, you need to do something. You need to wake up every single day with a purpose to get out of bed. Okay, then I'm gonna work on this. I made a video about that as well. And the day after that, I'm gonna work on that, and I'm gonna work on that. And you have this cycle of patterns of behavior that you can do on a daily basis that will ultimately bring you like closer to your goals. I feel like every single young man needs to do that. You don't want to be complacent. You don't need to be complacent because when you do that, my friend, every fucking thing goes out the window. You need to work. But when you try to do that work and you only depend on the fuel, like you only depend on like the fuel, and the fuel is like the pain that you've experienced maybe as a child, or maybe like traumatized and stuff, and you only try to live off that, I think it's not a very good way to live because it can only take you so far. The only thing then that is left is just nothing, and that's why you quit. Like, you're relying so much on pain, you're relying so much on what happened to you in the past. Like, maybe some girl that you're wrong, you give a huge burst of motivation to one thing, but like 3 weeks down the line, when we're talking about consistency, you quit. Why is that? One day you're very motivated, oh my God, I'm gonna prove this girl wrong because she broke up with me, whatever. But then 4 weeks down the line, you're back to eating like Cheetos and like binge watching Netflix and stuff. Why is that? It's because those things, like those heartbreaks or those things, that negative things that happened to you in the past, are good. But what they're good at is giving you short boosts of motivation. Maybe you can use it in the gym, like you hit a PR like 110 kg on the bench press, but they're not really good when we're talking about long distance run. Like, because I think life is a marathon. Like, genuinely life is a marathon. It's like the person that fuels off a lot of pain is like the person that sprints the first kilometer and then says, yeah, I'm gonna quit. It's way too hard. I still have to run like 41 kilometers and I cannot even do it anymore because I sprinted this fucking 1 kilometer. Of course you're not gonna do it. You're sprinting this entire 1 kilometer. Right now you want to say, yeah, I'm not gonna run that marathon again. Like, what the hell is that? Of course you're gonna quit because you don't want huge bursts of sprints. You want a steady pace and maybe like a little bit faster than the average person, but you can do that on a long distance. And I think you cannot do that when you're like only focusing on the fuel, only focusing on, oh my God, what she or what he did, I've got to prove them wrong. Once again, you can use it in the gym for a new PR, but after that, my friend, it's gonna take a toll on you. Like, you're gonna quit very fast if you do that. What stays you, let you stay long in the game, is making your work more fun. Like recording this video, my friend. Do you think it's hard work for me? I've said this so many times in my videos. This is not hard work. This is fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm having genuinely fun with recording videos. Of course, at the beginning of this journey, I started because, oh my God, like somebody did me wrong and I gotta prove them wrong. But that's not my main motivational fuel. Like, I tap into that when sometimes I need it. The better way to go about this is just to make it more fun, because when you make it more fun, you're gonna stay longer in the game. You're gonna stay way longer in the game and just giving just one burst of motivation. Oh my God, I'm gonna just do this and then I'm gonna quit after 3 weeks. Because I feel like that's the energy a lot of people use, and especially me when I started on this journey as well. When I started my self-improvement journey, I was like 16, so that was like 2020, back when COVID started. I was having a like very fun, man, like when I started it. But when I started, I had this mindset that, okay, I'm gonna do every single thing because that person did me wrong, so I've got to prove them wrong. First of all, my friend, if you're thinking in that mindset, you don't even have to prove anything wrong. Like, you don't have to prove anyone wrong. The only person you need to prove wrong is yourself, because you owe it to yourself. You don't owe it to other people. Who cares? Like, a lot of people have been through bad shit. You're not gonna do it for them. Let them suffer. Like, if somebody does you wrong, it says more about them. It says more about their character than yours. Like, that is also what I said about this industry. I think when you go a lot into the self-improvement industry, like the niche that I'm in, I think what you will find is that a lot of people say, like I said, work 24/7, grind 24/7, use pain as fuel, which in itself, like I said in the beginning of this video, is a very good advice. I'm not knocking that advice down, not at all, because I just sometimes do that as well. But when we're talking about the long game, when we're talking about long-term consequences, when we're talking about like getting the things in years, yes, my friend, results take years, sometimes even decades of time. So when we're talking about self-improvement, we're not talking about results in weeks and months, even though that may be the case. We're talking about results in years and decades to come. So you're already playing a long-term game. You're not playing this short-term game, because that's why I'm in it. I'm recording these videos. If you can look at my channel, I get like maybe max views, like 100 views, but I know I can make a video like, oh my god, it's like clickbaity and it will get more views, and maybe like one video goes viral, oh my god, 100k views, but then the other videos are like back to like 100, 200 views. What I want is to create a channel for the people that want to join, of course, create like this brotherhood of like-minded men so that we can grow together in the long term. That's what my intention is for this channel, so that people can become more of what they are. And I'm saying I'm perfect, because I'm not, to be honest. Sometimes I use these negative cycles of thought to boost my own motivation as well. But you get my point. When we're talking about the long-term game, when we're talking about like consistency, developing yourself every single day on a daily basis for 10 years to come, you cannot solely rely on pain as fuel, because it's gonna take you one day. It's gonna take you very fast. Yes, you can use pain as fuel to motivate to get the things that you want when we're talking about the short-term, like boost, for example, hitting a PR in the gym, or like doing something in the short term. But when we're talking about results, my friend, when we're talking about genuine results, like getting the thing that you want, we're talking about years and decades to come, because it takes a lot of time for things to manifest. It takes a lot of time. So when we're talking about results, we're already talking about the long-term game. We're talking about like, okay, in 5 to 10 years from now, you're gonna stay in the game, you're gonna stay in the fight if you make the work more fun, if you can implement more fun things into your life. The problem that I have with this channel is that I can sit here in front of a camera and I can tell a lot of stories. I've got a lot of stories myself, you know, I've been through, you know, some things, so I can talk about those things, right? But at the end of the day, what actually grows this channel, I think, is just me going out there in the world, experiencing, getting my hands dirty in the world, and then coming back and then telling the stories. Because what else am I going to do? I cannot just sit here in front of a camera and just give only theories without like keep putting into practice. Because when I can make this work more fun, I can do it for a longer period of time. I can work on it on a daily basis for like longer hours. I can enjoy it more. I get a more sense of satisfaction, instead of, oh my god, you know what, I'm gonna do this because he or she said it to me and I don't really like it, man, but I still have to do it because I need to prove it, or I need to make $1 million because he or she said I'm gonna be broke forever. If we're living with that mindset, I think it's gonna not bring you to that 5 to 10 year gap like that you want to go, like distance game that we're talking about. So that's the video that I wanted to record, man. If you liked it, please share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.